Hi everyone, welcome back to Sashay Away with Barry. I am here in my glorious caftan. I'm wearing a real caftan. Some of these girls don't seem to know what a caftan is. I've got my giant cocktail. It's just water today, everyone. Because it is 9 a.m. here in New York City, and it is way too early for me to have a drink. And I have to play about 4 hours of volleyball today. So I can't start the day off like that. But we will be drinking later for sure. So for right now, we're just drinking some seltzer water. I'm here going to talk about RuPaul's Drag Race, Season 11, Episode 10, Dragracadabra. And all I can say is magic. I love a little magic show. I thought this episode was fun. I don't have a lot to say about the beginning half of it because it was actually really boring. Until you got into the actual magic show. Everything else before that, I really had no interest in, so I'm not going to talk a lot about it. I am going to recap last week's winners from our Instagram polls for the actual challenge of the LADP. We had Brooke had 13 good votes, and Nina and Akira each had 12, so it was a very close race between them, but Brooke won. Congratulations to the Brooke. And we had a tie for worst performance, and it was, of course, Vanjie and Plastique. So I think you all agreed with the judges, other than voting for Silky. In the top, we put Nina there, and she belonged there, not Silky. And for our runway last week with the face kini, our top toot went to Miss Nina West. She had 14 toots and 2 boots. I don't know who booted this look because it was fantastic. Sugar Cane came in second with 12 toots and 4 boots. Again, who's booting this look? And Brooke was in third place with 10 toots and 6 boots. And in our bottom, it was pretty obvious who the bottom was. It was Silky with 15 boots and 1 toot. I know who did the toot, and I'm not going to call you out, but shame on you. This look was disgusting. It was so bad, so bad, and I don't know why you would toot this, but you did. But the real top toot goes to me. Thank you all for voting for my face kini. It's tough wearing those, I'm not gonna lie. I had to keep moving it. You probably watched in the last video. I had to keep moving it so I could breathe properly. And it's annoying. It does squeeze your face. I have a round head, and it was tight. But I got the top toot. I had 18 toots and 0 boots. So thank you all for the love. I appreciate it. It will be a while until I wear that face kini ever again. However, I will wear a caftan every day if I have to. Because there is nothing more comfortable than just lounging on the couch in a giant caftan. And I'm living my life today. I have the dog in my lap. I am a lady of leisure. But let's talk about Drag Race. You don't care about me. This was the magic show. Dragracadabra. Plastique is gone. It's fine. They should have had a double Sashay last week, and Vanjie should have gone home, but I know that's not the narrative of the story that they're telling. So that's that. Nina was in her feelings because Brooke didn't give her any credit. She did give her a little credit on the runway, but she didn't do it backstage at all. She was praising herself. And that's all I'm going to say about that. I don't know what Ru is wearing when she comes into this workroom. She is wearing a black suit with like a yellow tank top underneath it, and those fingerless leather biking gloves. I don't know what else to call them. I was so weird. And then as they did a full body shot of her, she was wearing brown like booty heels. They were so weird looking. It was just a crazy outfit. I don't know what was going on with that. That's the way it is. The Delta and the pit crew show up, and they're going to play a game with balls and a basket. This was fun. I love it when a mid-challenge is just stupid and fun. And we get to enjoy men in their underwear. If you don't enjoy men in your underwear, I'm sorry. That's what this challenge was about. It didn't really count for anything. But Vanjie wins, and she gets a $2,000 $500 gift card to Dirt Squirrel, who is the sponsor of the underwear, or not the sponsor, who is the producer of the underwear, but they also do fans, so I'm assuming she's going to use that money to make some merch for DragCon, so you can go buy a fan probably from Vanjie with that, or maybe she's just going to stock up on some underwear. Who knows? The other thing I'll say about the mini challenge, and I'll say two things, because I wrote two things down. Sugar Cane looks rough when she doesn't have any makeup on. She's an old man. I am an old man, I get it. But in her confessional, she has some makeup on, and obviously on the runway she has makeup on. But she did not have makeup on in the workroom this week, and it was harsh. I don't know if they made her do that, but bad on you. And the other thing I'm going to say is that Silky picked up Sean. This is probably the third person she has picked up on the show. I thought we were told drag is not a contact sport way back when Mimi I'm First picked up India Farah. Is that her name? India Farah? Yeah. On the runway, we were told drag is not a contact sport, and Leia letting Silky pick up everyone, including Miley Cyrus, which I'm assuming was a huge hazard. But we're going to do a magic show. Magic! Magic! Since Vanjie won, she gets to pick her team. And she picks Silky, Akiria, and Evie, which leaves Nina, Suga, and Brooke on the other team. Ru calls her out for playing the race card, which is kind of funny, even though Suga is Latina. So I don't know. I guess they feel like she's passing, so she is a white girl. They're going to perform illusions, write captivating patter, name their group, and create a magical look with cosmetics from Anastasia, Beverly Hills. Got to get those plugs in. Got to keep that money coming in from them. They have supported them all year long. So they are getting their money's worth. I'm not going to talk about what happens in the workroom because it was kind of stupid. Ru tried to start shit by talking to Brooke and to Vanjie about why Vanjie didn't pick Brooke. But if you will recall, Brooke did not pick Vanjie last week. So all's fair in love and war. And I think their relationship is on the outs now anyway. They got a few more weeks together, and that'll be the end of it. Goodbye, Brangie. You don't exist anymore. Ru did tell Vanjie that her team needs to plan in advance. That is the one thing we picked up from this, because that is the one thing they did not do. And then they get called out for it on the runway, and Vanjie has a breakdown. They get a magic lessons from some Vegas magician named Kyle Merlitt. No idea who that is. Don't really care. The Black Magic team was super sexual and very dirty, and I don't know who they're performing this for, but it is not the VH1 crowd. It is for a drag show, totally. But yeah, this was not going to get put on TV, so they had to change their stuff. And the Mighty Tucks get up, and they are ready to go. They have jokes planned. They have choreography planned. They're doing everything right. And then Silky fell asleep and is snoring. I don't know if that's real, but it was travesty. Girl, it's shady looking. I don't know what you're doing. Let's go right to RuPaul on the runway. This might be one of my favorite looks by RuPaul. This hair on her is gorgeous. I love the red tint in it. I love her earrings. I love this little chevron dress. It's a great look. Way to go, RuPaul. You look fantastic. Michelle and Ross are there. Catherine Langdon from 13 Reasons Why, and Gina Rodriguez from Jane the Virgin, and a bunch of other movies now were the guest judges. They were a good panel. I enjoyed them. They were fine. Team Mighty Tux is up first, and they have the choreography. Nina West killed this magic show. She was the star. Sugar Cane and Brooklyn were both fine. They both did well. But Nina she was like, when she said earlier that she was gonna take care of herself from now on, she was not kidding. And she did. And good on you, girl. Way to make a statement, because this was a statement. They made a ton of drag references, which always makes RuPaul laugh. When you throw in drag race references from the past, she loves that. She wants her brand, you know, it's the show that ate itself, basically. So it was funny. When they said it's the reverse Shangela and that they were going to put her in a box, I died laughing. And then Sugar Cane came out and said, Hallelujah times two. Living for it. It was so, so good. They did everything right. Everything that they possibly could do, they did right. And then on the other side, the Black Magic was a mess. Everything about it was terrible. There was not really a good performance in there. Silky looked like a fucking potato, and her padding was mashed potatoes. Yeah, I don't know what they were thinking. Evie was really weird. It was like she was trying to remember her lines, but I don't think she was. I think she was just overacting her lines in this weird acting choice, which made no sense to me. I didn't get it. I don't know what it was about. It was bad. And I love Evie, but that was bad. I loved that Raven was out of drag in the audience and being extra. At one point, there was a really bad joke, and she went, and then she posted online. It's really funny. And she posted that I gotta get an Emmy somehow. John Polly, if you don't know who John Polly is, he does a Drag Race recap podcast, as well as a YouTube recap, which I enjoyed both of them. I really love John Polly. He was also in the audience. And then at one point, Akira kept saying, "What's the tea, Christine? What's the tea, Christine? What's the tea, Christine?" I don't know if that's a reference to something. I don't know what it means. Because she was saying it to Evie, I think. And it made me think of the acting challenge that they did before with the Get Out Girl. Good God, Get Out Girl, whatever that was. Because I think one of the girls, either Evie or Scarlett, was named Christine, and I think she said that when she answered the phone as the DMV girl. What's the tea, Christine? And I was like, where is this going for? I don't know where it's coming from. None of them were named Christine in this challenge. But that's that. It didn't make any sense to me. And then someone at the end, instead of saying the Black Magic, they said the Loud Magic, because that is what it was. They were all just shouting at you. It didn't seem like anyone was having fun up there. And that's the tea, Christine. Yeah, it was so weird. Our runway is Caftan Realness. I am giving you my my ode to Bibi Zahara Benet. It is my safari caftan. It has a bunch of animals on it. It is not the dress that Latrice Royale wore last year during the Kitty Cat Challenge, which was not a cat. But here it is. I am living my jungle fantasy in the caftan. First up is Miss Silky Ganache, but I'm going to take a drink first because my throat is dry. 1 second. Miss Silky Ganache. And I like her caftan. I'm not going to lie. This is probably the best she's looked on the runway for me, personally. I'm not in love with the ball hair. I like the ball idea of the hair, but I don't think it works for this outfit. Her caftan is just a cover-up. It is open on both sides, and she has a dress on underneath. I'm fine with that, because it's an actual caftan. But it's good. I give it a 2. Silky, that might be the only toot you've gotten from me this season. It's not true. I think I gave her one before. Miss Edie Oddly is next, and girl looks stunning in this. I love it. The boots are weird, but I can forgive that. I love the just deconstructed caftan. Looking at the picture, I couldn't tell on camera, but it looks like it's actually like lace, and she just tatted it up. The necklace is grace, the headpiece is grace. When she did her prayer hands behind her back, I was living for it. It was smart. It was cute. It is a big, big toot for me. It's very fashion. Thank you so much, Evie. Toot, toot, toot. Oh, Akiria C. Davenport. She did not understand the assignment. There is no possible way that she Googled caftan and butterfly wings came up. No way. She wanted to be a butterfly, and she's gonna be a butterfly, and she called it a caftan. And literally what she said is, my caftan is pants with butterfly wings. That's not a caftan. Not a caftan. I loved Ross calling her out on the runway, saying that he was terribly upset and didn't work in his religion, because he, like me, would love to just sit around in a caftan all day, and that's why I love him. Rue had one of the funniest lines she has ever said on the runway, when she said cocoon, and then, what did I call myself? It was so funny. I couldn't stop laughing. It was so funny. So good. Next up is Miss Vanjie. Vanessa Vanjie Mateo is wearing a animal print caftan. Not unlike mine. What I don't like about it is the deep V in it. It's really, really open. And later when she lip syncs, spoiler alert, her titties kept coming out. Or her should say her man titties, because she don't wear boobs apparently. I love the caftan. I think it's really good. I love that she cinched it in as well to give her a little bit of shape. I don't like the head wrap. I hate the nose ring. It is not good, but the outfit itself is a toot. Way to go, Vanjie. This might be my favorite outfit that you've worn, because it's the only different outfit that you've worn. That's not true. I liked her Libra outfit as well. Brooklyn Heights is next, and everyone is going gaga over this. It's not a caftan either, Brooke. It flows, yes. It is much more Grecian than caftan, and if you look really closely, it is literally just a piece of sheer purple fabric. That does not a caftan make. It looks gorgeous. What's more exciting about it is the gold bodysuit she's wearing underneath it, with this fabric over it. It's lovely. It's lovely, but to me, it is not a caftan. I don't love her wig either. But it's a toot. I mean, I'm not going to boot it because it's nice. It's a toot. But to me, it's not a caftan. Sorry. The last two I don't have pictures of because they didn't put them up online and I haven't snapped them yet. But it's Sugar Cane, and Sugar gave us 3 caftans on the runway. It was 2 reveals. Her first one was beautiful. It was very luxurious and kind of winter caftan. It had fur on it, then she took it off and was like, she called it a springtime caftan, which great. It was the short one. I get it. And then she took that off, and it was a mess because it was just a beach cover up over a bathing suit. I kind of agree she should have left the first one on because it was the most pretty of them. But I didn't hate the second one either. But I would give her a toot for that because I really liked it. And Nina West brought up the rear, and bitch, this is a caftan. This is a caftan I want to own and want to wear, and I would wear it to work. I would wear it to the theater. I would wear it anywhere I could. It was so good. She looked amazing in it. I love on the toots. They gave her boots. On Raja and Aquaria gave her boots because they didn't like the color of it, which is disgusting to me. I don't know what's happening on the Toots and Boots other than it's a World War I production and they want you to think a certain way, just like the judges panel wants you to think a certain way, because this was gorgeous. It was the only real caftan out there. It was Lady Bunny realness. Speaking of Lady Bunny, I don't know why she wasn't a fucking judge for the caftan runway, because she is the queen of caftans. And that is what I'm gonna say about that. Nina West, you look stunning. You are my top toot of the week. And that's all there is to say about it. I can't say anything else because it was gorgeous. Way to go, Nina West. This was your week. The judges talked to the queens. I'm not gonna go into a lot of it. I will talk about Silky and Vanjie because to me, they are the best at playing themselves, and the judges praise Silky for it. They think she is the funniest thing on earth. They think she's giving everything. She's all personality. And then they say the same thing to Vanjie, but then they tell her you need to find a character when you're doing something else. Why don't you say that to fucking Silky? She needs to hear it. She needs to be cut down a bit because she thinks she's already won. And I hope she doesn't win. And that's not true. I hope she wins so I don't have to see her again on Drag Race. But if you look at her, she's not the future of drag. She's not the best queen on this season. And she's not a good representation of what a drag queen should be. It's infuriating. She makes good TV, and that's it. But I think it's very unfair that they give Vanjie different critiques than Silky when they are both doing themselves. They're both playing themselves all the time. They have never done anything but play themselves. And nothing wrong with that, but it's the same, they're not getting the same critique. The other critique I'm going to talk about is Miss RuPaul, who 2 weeks ago, which really on this show is probably 4 days ago, said that Suga is on an upward trajectory in this competition. And then this week she said she hasn't hit the mark. It's been literally probably 4, maybe 6 days since you said that last thing. To me, this is a producing thing. It's a narrative for the show. I get it. It was wrong. It was so wrong. But let's go through our tops and bottoms. On the top this week is Miss Nina West. She is the winner of the challenge. She got $3,000 gift card to Merrick and Rich, which I don't even know what that is, and a $3,000 gift card to Out of Office, which I love the name of this, and it is a travel company, and I kind of live for that name. It was really, 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 really good. So congratulations, Nina West. This was a well-deserved win. Finally, the judges are recognizing you for your talent and your style, and I live for it. I live for it. Oh, I didn't tell you who was safe. Brooke, Akira, Evie, and Silky are all safe. This is a wrong decision, but we'll get into that momentarily. And that leaves Suga and Vanjie in the bottom 2. They are going to lip sync to Mary J. Blige's No More Drama. It's a bad song choice for a lip sync. It is probably the best Vanjie has ever been on the show. I will give her that. But that bar has been set very low. She took off her jewelry. We saw her nipples. Her head wrap fell off, but her wig stayed on. And that was it. that's all I really have to say about this. It was not a great lip sync for either of them. Vanjie was a smidge better. It kind of had a build to her whole story, which great. That's what put you over the top. This is the second week in a row. It could have been a double sachet away with Miss Vanjie, and I don't understand the whole trajectory of her story, other than we are getting to a point where it's going to be a Vanjie Brooke lip sync, and that is going to be the big moment of the season, I guess, because they are still playing up this fucking relationship. Brooke and Vanjie actually kissed on the runway at the end. I don't know if you stayed through that, but they did. And I'm so over it. I'm over this relationship. We all know it ended. It's not happening still. I think it's completely made up for the show. And there you go. That's my opinion. Now I'm going to talk about what they did to Suga. They did Suga so dirty on this episode, and it was all producing. No matter what, I think going into this episode, Suga was going home. She could have been the very best in the challenge and had the most glorious runway. She was going home. It was her time. And I'm not saying that's a bad thing, but if you're going to send someone home, send her home when she has a bad week. That troll week, she could have gone home that week. That was her worst week of the season. And you kept her. And she hasn't really had a terrible week. She's been coasting. I'm not going to dispute that. She's coasting along. But she hasn't had a bad week really since then. So yeah, I don't understand. I mean, her improv last week wasn't great, but it wasn't terrible. It was mainly because Silky just talked all over her. So if I would put Silky in the bottom over Sugar last week. So it was so frustrating. But yeah, I think it was producer planned. They like Sugar's story is over. She's going home. We're going to edit her in a way that makes it look bad, and they tried to do that. It didn't make sense. She should have never been in the bottom 2 this week, even though they say she was the worst in her group, which I think she was no worse than Brooke in her group. Nina was the star, and the other 2 were the supporting characters, and they were both just fine. Neither of them were great. But even that, she was better than every single person in that other group. It should have been, you could have made all 4 of them lip sync again, and then really sent 2 people home, but I think they're there to keep people there, and the only person that they're willing to get rid of off that other team, is Vanjie, because they need Silky, they need Akira, and they need Evie for the finale, and that is my hot take on that. I've been saying it for weeks. I don't think Akira has earned her spot in the finale, but I think she's going to be there. It should be Nina West there in her spot, but I think it's going to be Brooke, Evie, Silky, and Akira. It should be Nina, but it's not going to be. And that's the way I feel about it. Again, I don't listen to spoilers, so that is not a spoiler. That is Barry's opinion. That is what I'm saying, and that is all that I think is going to happen. I will know next week when I go to the finale taping. I got my outfit, so I am ready. I will do a video from LA when I am there. Obviously, I can't tell you anything because that is spoiling things. And I don't do spoilers on here, but I won't know who wins. If they do it the same way they've done the last few years as the lip sync, I will know who the top 2 is. Or possibly the top 3 if they do it like last year. But that's all I'll know. I won't know. I'll know who the top 4 is before everyone else, and that's probably it. But I'm very excited. My outfit is ready. I post pictures of it to vote on an outfit. I do have multiple choices, but I'm pretty much set on what I'm actually wearing. So I'm not going to do that this because I want it to be a surprise. So I will post pictures as I'm going, as I'm getting ready to go, and before I step out of my hotel room, I'll take some snapshots and post them to my Instagram page, and then I will do a little bit of a video after the show, but not give away any secrets. I'll just talk about some things that happened. That's all. Next week is makeovers. They are bringing back past contestants. I don't know if they picked people to bring back or if the queens get to pick from the group, because not all of them are going to get makeovers, because how many people do we have left? 6. That means that 9 people have gone home. We only need 6. So I don't know if the contestants get to pick who they're going to make over, or if they just brought back 6 queens at random. But that's what's happening. We're going to get makeovers on them. I don't know what kind of makeover it is. If they're going to have to make them over into themselves, if they're going to have to make them into like drag daughters, if they're going to, I don't know. Who knows what's going to happen. But it's a makeover challenge. Some people are going to struggle. I'm trying to think who I think is going to do the worst. And honestly, I think Nina is going to struggle this week. Her makeup has been a little bit of her downfall, so doing it on someone else might not work really well. I don't want that to be the case, but I think it could be. I honestly think Silky could be in trouble. Evie could possibly be in trouble. And maybe Vanjie. I don't know. Her makeup is usually really good, so she's good at makeup. I think Silky's is kind of a mess sometimes. Evie's is her own style, so depending on who she actually makes over, could be good or could be really bad. I don't know. And maybe they can't do makeup on someone else. If they don't know skin tones, if they don't know what to do, it could be disastrous for some of them. So we shall see. The makeover challenge is always a fun one for me. I enjoy them. People are either really good or really bad at it, and that's what we're going to see next week. One thing I'm going to say about Untucked, because I don't really like to talk about Untucked because it's been kind of boring. We had some more fighting this time, and I don't care about it. But Brooke's mom made me cry. I cried during it. It was a sweet, sweet moment. This woman is a lovely, lovely woman. Coming from a religious family, I totally get her side of it. My family has been very supportive of me as well. It didn't start out completely that way, but there's never been hatred. I've never been kicked out of my house. My family has never disowned me. There was just not understanding, and I came out years ago. I'm an old queen, so I came out years ago, and it was fairly new. It's a little more normalized now in the world, but it was very new. My parents didn't understand it. I'm from a very small farm town in Indiana, and my parents were very supportive of me and still are to this day, and I love them very much. So Brooke's video made me cry. I was very happy for her. I love her mother. I think she's great. And that's all I have to say. Thank you all once again for watching. I'm going to take one more sip. Don't forget to toot and boot the looks in my Instagram story. It's not going to actually be up until probably Monday morning. I still have to go and get those pictures of Suga and Nina that weren't posted, so I have to do that. And right now I have a huge Insta story, so I'm waiting for that to kind of fizzle out. It is from, I went to the Miss Hell's Kitchen pageant last night, so it's a bunch of photos of that. So feel free to go look at them because there is lots of drag photos in there. There were 8 queens participating in the Miss Hell's Kitchen pageant. Later this week I will post their performance videos, which some were really good, some were pretty tragic, but some were good. It was a lot of fun. I had a good time last night. Congratulations to Miss Gloria Swansong, who won Miss Hell's Kitchen 2019. It was deserved. She did a great job. First runner-up was Salmonella, who I love and adore. She did a fantastic performance, a Kylie Minogue song that I had no idea where it was going, which really intrigued me, and then it turned out to be spectacular. I was like, I don't know what's going on here, and then it was fantastic. It was so good. And our second runner-up was Tiffany Ann Coke, and she was lovely. I did not expect her to get second runner-up. I thought it was going to go to Keisha Cars, who was fantastic as well. She was a bearded queen, and she was everything. I loved her performance, and I loved her evening gown. So I thought she was going to be second runner-up, but she wasn't. It was Tiffany Ann Coke. I'm not going to complain about it. It was a fun night. Thanks for everyone for watching. Go to my Instagram story to Toot and Boot sometime on Monday. It's going to be up Monday morning, so you have Monday morning all the way to Tuesday morning to cast your votes. The Instagram is The Real Barry Brown. TheRealBarryBrown. That's The Real Barry Brown on Instagram. It is part of my Insta story. So you can just follow me there. You'll get my Insta story. And you'll get a lot more because I post a lot on Instagram. I also have a Facebook page called RuPaul's Drag Race Sashay Away with Barry, and I post it all there too, plus a lot more stuff that I find on the internet, news articles. There's also a lot of New York City drag that I post on there because that is where I live, and I just love drag. So thank you all for watching again, and I will talk to you next week. Bye!